Hi Aries, this is your December 2020 tarot forecast. So this is for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Thanks to everyone who's here with me today. I love reading for you guys, and I have a new deck of tarot, so I'm pretty excited to use this for December. So let's get into it. We're going to be doing a really nice Celtic cross for you. I'm going to qualify any cards that need qualification. Let's get into it. Messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising for December 2020. What does Aries need to know for December? Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. December 2020. Messages for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and Venus. All right, guys, so let's get out your cards. Gorgeous, starting out with the Two of Cups there for you. Hopefully you can see these okay. So it does look like there's going to be some emotional challenge here. Really regarding a decision more than anything. Nice collaborative effort here at the end of the month for you. It looks like you might just have some options here. You might have moved away from something that was a heavy burden. We do have the Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck for you, which is gorgeous. So bottom of the deck energy is the Ace of Swords here. So this is clarity, this is a victory, generally speaking of the mind or information or a thought process. We do have a couple of swords in your reading itself, so I am going to match this carefully to the Swords energy. We have the 2, the 10, and the Knight of Swords here. So we have this sense of making it, coming to terms with something, coming to clarity over decision that you have to put to rest here. There is a cycle ending here with the 10 of Swords crowning you. Something definitely felt like overkill, but I do think it was around a decision. I do think that just coming to terms with something, being clear about something here, is going to be the difference between something feeling burdensome and something feeling as though you can be free from it and you've learned your lessons that you needed to learn from it and you can move on. So the situation for the month for you is the Two of Cups. So you have that gorgeous minor arcana Lover's energy here crossed by the Nine of Wands. So especially in the first week of the month, it just looks like something regarding a soulmate situation or coupling. This doesn't have to be a love reading for you guys unless you're an Aries Venus, obviously, or if you're treating this like a love reading. But generally speaking, the Two of Cups is just really any really positive, heartfelt connection that you have. So it can be with a lover or a loved one. It could just be someone that you see eye to eye with. Right? But the Nine of Wands over it is feeling as though you've reached your peak. Something is a lot of effort here. I think because we know the 8 precedes this and there were a lot of communication, there was a lot of discussion preceding this. It could just be that you're wary about this communication, you're wary about this conversation, or it's worn you down, or it took more work than you thought, or you could feel as though you need to protect yourself. The Nine of Wands is typically speaking the wounded soldier, so it could just feel either that you're spending a lot of time and energy protecting this connection, or this connection is stealing a lot of your time and energy and it feels like a little bit of a burden here. But like I said, I do feel like something is really going to come to an end. We do have an ending over there. I really feel in large part due to a major mental decision here, right? So in the foundation is the Two of Swords, and then crowning you is the 10 of Swords. So at the foundation, like I said, and with the bottom of the deck energy, this is literally just making the decision. It's coming to terms with something. It's being clear about something here. Two of Swords gets a bad rap sometimes for being, unable to make a decision or crossing your heart, as though, like, look here, right? These two are offering cups. They're speaking a love language, or they're speaking the same language. And then there's an element here of like, well, there's something, maybe you're meeting eye to eye here, but maybe something in the mind isn't meshing. or ideas or concepts or even communication or conversation isn't meshing. But the interesting thing about the Two of Swords is it actually is the end to conflict. It's the recognition that there needs to be an end to conflict. There needs to be an end to indecision. So that's what I'm seeing here, that there's an end to indecision around this connection, around this uphill burden, uphill conversation or love interest or soulmate situation here. And then crowning it, like I said, is the 10. So the 10s are positive in the sense that a cycle is over. So that's extremely positive here. So I think in terms of coming to, standing in your power, what is good for you? And it could just be about, that's what this is about here. Who are you fighting for? Who are you fighting against? What are you fighting for? And if it's truth, then it should be a really easy decision. Then the problem should almost see itself out. So just be sure here that, truth takes precedence here. Truth and will spell victory, and it will spell an end to something that felt taxing or burdensome here. I do find the 10 of Swords is, like all swords energy, is the mind though. It's mind, communication, ideas, thoughts, beliefs, this type of thing. So this is really happening internally for you. Both the crown and the foundation here. Around this heart situation, something that felt burdensome or uphill. You may think, for example, that you don't know what to do, or you may think that something is out of your hands, or you've tried everything, or that someone else needs to make a decision here. But if you come to terms with the facts, if you come to terms with evidence and reality and the truth, I think it'll become more apparent here that a loving message to yourself, that a message of hope, gentleness, maybe even like a shy reminder to feel good, to feel confident that, things can remain hopeful. If you are willing and able to emotionally remove yourself from what's taxing here, because in your recent past, we have the Knight of Cups. So that's Pisces energy. That's just, it's romantic energy, generally speaking. And then, of course, it is sandwiching this Two of Cups here. And the near future is the Eight of Cups. So we went from this really sweet sort of shy message, the romantic, the poet over here, to the Two of Cups. Somebody, at least two people were seeing eye to eye. And then having to move away from this, I think it is going to be about that decision that you're coming to terms with. What are you clear about here? So coming clear about something having to do with romance, having to do with poetry, having to do with the heart space, having to do with maybe even dreams. What kind of dream you want it for this relationship, how you want this relationship, whatever it is for you to proceed. There is an element of needing to walk away, perhaps even giving yourself more options, opening up new avenues of heart space, where to put your heart space, where to put your time and energy. But certainly with all of these cups looking at each other, both the Knight, the Two, and then the Eight of Cups here, I do feel by the end of the second week here, if you physically and mentally and emotionally remove yourself from troubling emotional concerns here, right? The Eight of Cups is a recognition that something's over. It is, the beautiful thing about the 9 following is that it's wish fulfillment. So remember that, even if you're leaving something sort of tough behind or something that maybe you were invested in here emotionally, if you can leave that behind, you do open up new avenues of opportunity here for yourself. And at the end of the day, Aries, what you have on your side is truth. So really, what are you giving up? You would be giving up an untruth, right? Or a sense of confusion, or a sense of not being able to follow through, or something feeling like it was overwhelming or just a lot of work. So, if you can emotionally remove yourself from that, I think, with the truth, with evidence, with a clear mind, that's instantly going to add a sense of victory to this concern for you. So here at the beginning of the third week, we have the Knight of Swords in how you see yourself. So how you see yourself is someone who has a lot of messages to bring through. This could be happening where you're sharing messages and you need to express yourself to other people at this time. We do have 2 nights, so there could be fun and enjoyment that makes up a part of the month of December for you. So we have this guy back here in your recent past. This guy's really shy. This guy is sort of in your face. He'll say whatever he needs to say. This guy is willing to stir things up. And he's here and gone. And you'll notice a lot of dust and clouds and stuff. And the horse actually looks really terrified. So I would even say, if this is you or someone in your environment with a lot of information, a lot of sudden communication, a lot of maybe even something that you quote unquote want to hear, I would just be very wary that it is inaccurate, or I would suss it out, or I would see what their behavior is like in relation to what they're saying. This isn't bad energy necessarily, it's just very rushing and it's very chaotic. I do find this night to have some relation to romance. I think this is one of the nights of, you know, rescuing the damsel in distress here as well. So just be aware if someone's coming in to do that for you, or you're doing that to somebody else here, that it may not be matched. It might be an empty intention is what I'm saying. It might not be matched with evidence, or it might not be matched with behavior. But you will soon know, because how others see you is the 4 of Wands. And I think this is how you're going to know. This could even be, like I said, this is chaotic. It's not necessarily bad, but it is a little bit chaotic. But you'll know if it feels good, or if it suits you, or if it's welcome or not, because how others see you is the happy home. And this could just be information about your happy home. This could be someone trying to shake this up for you. This could be upsetting news about your happy home. Or you feel like you needed more information here in order to settle down and have a really strong connection here. It could even just be the difference between, look, thoughts, speech, and beliefs, and then reality, right? Behavior, comfort around the home. So yeah, I mean, just beware of messages that seem to be rushing in. Whether they have context or not, you know, always weigh it against the truth. Don't take anything at face value here, I would say. Particularly if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Here in your hopes and fears is a hope and fear card. So with the 7 of Cups here, it's just looking at a lot of options you have. Here are some more cups. You can sort of see it in the 4th card in the trajectory. So by the 4th week, it does look like you're able to invent or even imagine more opportunities for yourself. The only caveat with the 7 of Cups, as I would say here, is to just be sure that you're the one inventing this and something isn't just being given to you, like thrown to you all of a sudden, and it sounds really good and now it's like confusing. Something's confusing for you. You know, don't let that happen, especially if it has to do with your heart space. Put someone to the test here if they're saying something and it's not adding up. But don't let someone confuse you here. If this is a lot of options or hard options that you have a choice. You have a really nice choice to make here about which to choose next. And you can decide carefully. You can make an educated choice or a mindful decision here. And then with your outcome card, like the 3 of Pentacles is really gorgeous. This is collaboration energy. Someone could be watching you work. You could be watching someone else work toward a common goal together. It's really low on the totem, so the 3s are really about creativity, creating something new here, and this is very, very practical. So this is nice. You could have taken something from a heart space that fell through here or collapsed or, you know, was a overkill. Something didn't feel right about it, and the great thing about it is that you can choose again. You can choose another cup, you can choose another option and build on that. So it looks like nothing's really holding you back here. I just want to see what this 10 of Swords is about. Can you tell me more about this 10 of Swords? Why is the 10 of Swords crowning? Why is the 10 of Swords crowning? And then I might do this Knight of Swords down here as well. See what this information is about. Look at that, Ace of Swords again. So qualifying the 10 of Swords up here, crowning you, right, which is an overkill. We have the Ace of Swords again. Here's the 8 of Wands. Remember, the 8s are about moving in a positive direction. I talked about the 8 of Wands here is a lot of positive communication. Somehow it became a little bit heavy or daunting here over a heart situation or a soulmate situation. But the World, right, qualifying it as well. So this is about leveling up. This is the end of something that you really wanted to see the end to. It's the end of indecision. It's the end of not having the answer or knowing what to do next. So this is actually incredibly positive for you here, guys. I think you do have news coming in, very, very positive news coming in that's going to add clarity. In order for you to level up, you have the World card here as well. I think you already know what it's going to be. I get the feeling that you already know what this overkill is about, and you're ready, like you know what this is, and you're like, oh, it's just a matter of time before it's gone or something like that. And yeah, we see this here. It's definitely over and done with. So this is actually a good position to be in. It's just seeking clarity, and it's opening your heart, right? So we have the 2 of Swords closing the heart, and then the 2 of Cups opening. So it could even just be as simple as that decision, like keeping an open heart while seeking the truth, using your mind and your heart. And let's find out more about this Knight of Swords. Why is this Knight of Swords in how you see yourself? So this is a lot of cards, but I will take them. We have the Knight of Swords twice. Here's the 4 again, the 8 of Cups, 10, and the Queen. So we do have 2 Queens. We have the Knight of Swords twice. We have the 4 of Wands. 2 Queens are maliciousness and slander. And it is over this now double Knight of Swords. So this could very easily just be like some pretty crappy gossip, guys, honestly. And it could have to do with the home or family. The home or family could be affected. Here we're seeing doubling cards, the 8 of Cups again. And then we're seeing here the 7 and the 10 of Wands. We see the 9 up here. So yeah, it's going to be a minor struggle, but just stay out of an argument. Stay out of slander, maliciousness. Don't add to that. Certainly you'll know if there's slander and maliciousness in your environment here, or how you see yourself, or how you're seeing someone else. These can be interchangeable. I would say, protect yourself. Just treat it like, maybe don't give someone the benefit of the doubt here. Particularly, like I said, particularly if it has to do with slander, maliciousness, if it has to do with incorrect information, something's too good to be true, something coming in from out of nowhere, unsolicited advice. That is what I'm talking about here, right? If that's the case, particularly if it involves your home or a happy home, I would say thanks for sharing and then just move on with your life. Seriously here, because the slander and maliciousness is going to help no one, particularly if you get sucked into it. And I mean, someone could be, whoever's coming with this message could technically be well-intentioned. I don't read the Knight of Swords technically as an ill-intentioned energy. But I would say with all of this accumulative energy around it, I would say what's the point, what's the purpose here, because it is affecting your home. So just be aware of what you're thinking, what you're being told, and what you believe about a happy home and relationships and connections at this time. So we have keep an open mind and retreat. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. I actually really like this card because it opens us up to possibilities that we hadn't considered before, and there's nothing more adventurous than that. And then retreat, it's time to disconnect from the world. I do find this helpful in moving away from confusion. Perhaps you're listening to too many people, or there's too many voices or ideas or concepts in your head, and you just need to pull away at the moment. So playfulness is always important, guys. It's just always important. This could be the difference between a good or a bad day. Just remember to be playful. All we have is this moment, right? Unfinished symphony means being able to pull something back that sort of escaped you, something that had your heart. This could be a relationship, but it could just be a really cherished project. And we could be looking at the arts, something having to do with the arts or an artistic way that you do something here. And then we have power, right? The horse is power. So how are you using your power? So Starhawk, for example, wrote about power over, power with, and power for. So how everyone has power, it's just how it's used. And in this case, with the Two of Cups being the central card for the whole read, I would say the power of love is probably the most important power that is going to help get you through some tough times here, especially with a lot of communication, a lot of information sharing, some maybe not so kind words over here as well. Something that feels like a heavy load, or you're protecting something or protecting your position. So, you know what? Just come from a heart space here. Try to live in the moment. Take a step back if you can. Try to remember to be playful, and that truth is king. Truth is going to lead to that ultimate victory here, guys. So Aries, thank you so much for watching today. I love reading for you guys. I really hope this was helpful in some way for you. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you do that now. Like and share my videos. That really helps me out as well. And make sure you cross-watch. Watch your rising and moon signs as well. Watch for other people in your family, about their signs. And until I meet you in the next video, take excellent care, guys. Bye for now.